Did you know the average price of a new car in the US is now pushing $50,000? That's a staggering 30% jump from just a few years ago. It feels like just yesterday, you could walk onto a lot and find something decent for under 30 grand. Whether you're a lifelong car enthusiast, a young person buying your first vehicle, or someone keeping your current ride running, these costs are impacting everyone's budget. The automotive industry has been facing what many are calling a perfect storm of challenges. When factories around the world were forced to shut down during the pandemic, it created an immediate ripple effect. Suddenly, there weren't enough new cars being built, which meant there weren't enough cars arriving on dealership lots. High demand meeting low supply meant their prices shot up almost instantly. Add the growing consumer demand for vehicles packed with high-tech features and electric vehicles, and you've got a recipe for record-breaking prices. Car manufacturing depends on precise coordination of thousands of parts from suppliers around the world. Today's vehicles use hundreds of microchips to control everything from engine performance to infotainment systems. Some manufacturers parked thousands of nearly finished vehicles in massive holding lots, waiting for crucial chips to arrive. This shortage didn't just affect new cars, it created a domino effect hitting the used car sector particularly hard. The cost of steel, aluminum, copper, and rubber have seen significant double-digit percentage increases. With average new car prices near $50,000, monthly payments have soared to all-time highs. For countless families, this means stretching budgets to their breaking point, or putting off that new car purchase altogether. A growing number of people are finding themselves underwater on their car loans. The average new car payment has climbed to well over $700 a month. That's equivalent to what many Americans were paying for rent just a decade ago. 84-month loans are rapidly becoming commonplace. That's 7 years of payments on a rapidly declining asset. You purchase a $45,000 SUV. 2 years later, you still owe $38,000, but the car's market value dropped to $32,000. That's a $6,000 gap you must cover. Nearly 40% of car buyers are rolling negative equity from their previous vehicle into their new car loan. The affordability crisis is devastating for younger buyers. New cars under $25,000 are becoming an endangered species. Transportation costs now consume nearly 20% of monthly budgets, making it the second largest household expense after housing. Instead of chasing sales volume, automakers are laser-focused on maximizing profit margins. GM is betting big on electric vehicles, primarily at the premium end, banking on consumers paying extra for cutting-edge tech. Ford is heavily invested in trucks and large SUVs. These consistently deliver significantly higher profit margins than smaller cars. As automakers prioritize high-margin vehicles, production of affordable cars has dramatically decreased. For decades, the industry was defined by a volume-based approach. The mantra was simple: sell as many vehicles as possible. Ford discontinued the Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, and Taurus. Their focus is now on highly profitable F-Series trucks and SUVs. A single F-150 can generate 5, sometimes 10 times the profit of a compact car like the old Focus. GM reported $14.5 billion in profit despite selling fewer vehicles. Their average transaction price skyrocketed by nearly $10,000 per vehicle. Why does it feel like SUVs are everywhere? It's not just popularity, it's profit. Layered on top came a global crisis, supply chain nightmares. Remember the chip shortage? In 2000, cars were about 50% of new sales. Today, that's plummeted to less than 25%. Drivers appreciate higher seating, perceived safety, and versatility like cargo space and available all-wheel drive. Automakers spend billions promoting a lifestyle, adventure, freedom. This resonates even if most SUVs never leave pavement. A mid-size SUV might cost only $2,000 more to manufacture than a sedan, but automakers can charge $8,000 or $10,000 more. A vehicle can contain hundreds of chips controlling everything from engine timing to navigation and safety features. Just-in-time manufacturing minimizes inventory, but offers zero buffer during disruptions. The automotive industry is undergoing arguably the most significant transformation since Henry Ford perfected the assembly line. Think about the massive investment required for battery research, sourcing materials, and constructing entirely new specialized factories. Today's cars are less like simple machines and more like sophisticated rolling computers. Features like automatic emergency braking and lane-keeping assistance rely on sophisticated sensors and powerful onboard computers. In a typical electric car, the battery alone can cost anywhere from $8,000 to $18,000, sometimes more for larger vehicles. Traditional automakers are racing to catch up, investing billions in building software divisions and hiring engineers. The next wave includes autonomous driving, augmented reality displays, and vehicle-to-everything communication systems. Want to activate heated seats only during winter? That might become a $15 monthly subscription, extending costs beyond the purchase price. Here's a twist. The global automotive landscape is undergoing a seismic shift, and Chinese automakers are at the epicenter, particularly in the electric vehicle space. This isn't just about new players, it's a fundamental challenge to the established order. Startups and established giants alike like BYD and NIO are leveraging significant advantages. They benefit from lower labor costs, incredibly efficient and rapidly evolving production processes, and crucially, robust, long-term government support. This powerful combination allows them to design, build, and offer cutting-edge EVs at price points that American and European companies are finding incredibly difficult to match. Furthermore, while traditional U.S. automakers often rely on extensive, sometimes cumbersome, dealer networks for sales and distribution, Chinese startups operate with remarkable agility. They are masters of speed, launching new models and iterations quickly and adapting to market trends and technological advancements almost overnight. Government subsidies in China don't just support manufacturers, they make these cars significantly more affordable for domestic buyers, creating massive scale and driving down costs further. This puts immense tangible pressure on American and other legacy brands to accelerate their innovation cycles and drastically cut production costs to remain competitive globally. The rise of Chinese automakers represents perhaps the most significant disruption and shift in global automotive competition since Japanese brands like Toyota and Honda first successfully entered and transformed the US market in the 1970s and 80s. Companies like BYD, whose name stands for Build Your Dreams, have undergone a stunning transformation. Starting primarily as a battery manufacturer, BYD has strategically evolved to become the world's largest producer of electric vehicles by volume in just a few short years. In 2023, BYD sold more battery electric vehicles globally than even Tesla, a remarkable feat, despite having a relatively limited presence in North America due to trade barriers and regulatory differences. Chinese manufacturers benefit from several deep-seated structural advantages that contribute to their competitive edge. While the gap has narrowed somewhat in recent years, labor costs remain significantly lower than in the United States or Europe. More importantly, China has proactively built and now controls a comprehensive, vertically integrated supply chain specifically for EV components, with a particular dominance in battery technology. With control over much of the world's processing capacity for critical minerals essential for batteries, such as lithium, cobalt, nickel, and rare earth elements, Chinese manufacturers enjoy privileged access to these vital materials, securing their supply and often lowering their costs compared to international competitors who must source them globally. Government policy has not just played a role, it has been absolutely crucial and foundational to China's rapid automotive rise, particularly in the EV sector. Generous subsidies provided to both manufacturers for R&D and production, and directly to consumers to incentivize purchases, have dramatically accelerated EV adoption within China, creating the world's largest EV market. Requirements for foreign automakers entering the Chinese market to form joint ventures with local companies facilitated significant technology transfer over decades, and massive, sustained investments in public charging infrastructure have made owning and operating EVs practical and convenient for hundreds of millions of Chinese consumers, even those without access to home charging options, removing a major barrier to adoption. The competitive threat posed by Chinese automakers is not theoretical, it is real, present, and growing rapidly. Brands like BYD, NIO, XPeng, and SAIC are already aggressively expanding into markets across Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and elsewhere, offering competitively priced, technologically advanced, and increasingly well-regarded electric vehicles. While tariffs, safety standards, and regulatory hurdles have limited their direct presence in the U.S. market so far, many industry analysts and experts believe it's only a matter of time before Chinese EVs find a way to gain a significant foothold in America, potentially through partnerships, localized production, or evolving trade policies. So, what's next for the established players, particularly American automakers, in the face of this intense global competition? Staying competitive requires a multi-pronged strategy. It means significant sustained investment in advanced manufacturing automation to boost efficiency and reduce labor costs. It means relentlessly streamlining complex global supply chains to reduce vulnerabilities and costs. And it means advocating for and adapting to clear, stable regulatory environments, especially concerning emission standards, EV mandates, and charging infrastructure, to enable long-term planning and investment. Imagine a future where cutting-edge manufacturing technologies like gigacasting or highly modular assembly make cars significantly cheaper and faster to produce. Combine that with clear, consistent government policies that encourage massive private investment in EV technology, battery production, and charging networks. That's the kind of environment where the current volatility in EV pricing could stabilize or perhaps even begin a downward trend, making EVs more accessible to a wider range of consumers. But success isn't just about cost-cutting and efficiency. Automakers must continue to push the boundaries of innovation. This includes developing truly capable, autonomous driving systems, integrating seamless and valuable smart connectivity features into vehicles, and pioneering the use of sustainable materials throughout the vehicle lifecycle. The brands that can adapt fastest, integrate technology most effectively, and understand evolving consumer expectations will be the ones best positioned to shape the future of driving and thrive in this new competitive era. American and European automakers are actively responding to these challenges with their own strategic shifts and significant investments. Recognizing the critical importance and cost of batteries, many are forming joint ventures and strategic partnerships with leading battery manufacturers to secure future supply, reduce dependence on external markets, and localize production. Ford, for example, has partnered with South Korea's SK Innovation to build massive battery manufacturing complexes in the United States. General Motors is working with LG Energy Solution on similar large-scale battery production projects, aiming to bring battery cell manufacturing closer to their assembly plants. Vertical integration, a strategy where companies bring more component production in-house rather than relying solely on external suppliers, is making a significant comeback, particularly for core EV technologies. Tesla pioneered this approach in the modern EV space, manufacturing its own batteries, to some extent, electric motors, and proprietary software. Traditional automakers are increasingly following suit, recognizing the strategic advantage of controlling the design, production, and cost of key EV-specific components like battery packs, electric drive units, and power electronics. The intense race to reduce costs while simultaneously adding sophisticated technology is driving the development of entirely new vehicle architectures designed specifically from the ground up for electric powertrains. These dedicated EV platforms promise numerous benefits: optimized packaging for batteries and passengers, improved performance characteristics, greater manufacturing efficiency, and crucially, scalability. They serve as standardized modular foundations that can underpin a wide range of different vehicle models, from small cars to large SUVs and trucks, across different brands within a single automotive group. Volkswagen's MEB platform, GM's Ultium platform, and Hyundai's eGMP are all prime examples of this strategic shift towards common, scalable electric architectures that will define the next generation of vehicles. Alright, we've covered a lot in this deep dive. We've explored the forces driving soaring car prices, the massive market shift towards SUVs and electric vehicles, the lingering chaos from global supply chain disruptions, the rapid integration of new technologies, the rising challenge from Chinese automakers, and the strategic responses from American manufacturers fighting to stay competitive. All these powerful trends aren't just headlines, they are fundamentally reshaping what it means to buy, own, and even about a car today. The automotive landscape is undergoing a transformation unlike anything we've seen since the dawn of mass production with the Model T. This isn't just about new engines or body styles. Electrification, advanced automation, and pervasive digitalization are turning vehicles from purely mechanical transportation devices into complex, sophisticated technology platforms on wheels. This profound evolution opens up incredible possibilities for safety, efficiency, and connectivity, but it also brings significant challenges, particularly around affordability and accessibility for the average buyer. For consumers navigating this rapidly changing market, the old rules don't always apply. Adapting requires new approaches. Thinking about longer ownership periods, carefully considering the total cost of ownership, which includes maintenance, insurance, and potential software costs, Not just the initial purchase price, and being open to alternative mobility solutions like ride-sharing or public transport may all become necessary parts of adapting to higher vehicle prices. Understanding the true value of new technologies, and discerning which ones genuinely matter for your specific needs versus which are expensive add-ons, becomes increasingly important when every added feature comes with a significant price tag. Researching incentives for EVs or considering certified pre-owned options can also be smart moves. For the industry itself, balancing groundbreaking innovation with widespread affordability represents perhaps the greatest challenge ahead. The companies that will truly succeed in this new era will be those that can effectively deliver the benefits of cutting-edge automotive technologies like advanced driver assistance systems, seamless connectivity, and electric powertrains, while simultaneously finding creative ways to make them accessible and appealing to mainstream buyers across different income levels. This might require exploring entirely new business models, from flexible subscription services for features to integrated shared mobility platforms, or developing tiered technology offerings. The road ahead for the automotive world contains both immense opportunities for progress and significant obstacles to overcome. But one thing is absolutely certain: the fundamental relationship between people and their cars is evolving at an unprecedented pace, driven by the relentless march of technological possibility, the stark realities of economic pressures, and the urgent necessity of environmental sustainability. Understanding these powerful forces helps us all make better, more informed decisions, whether we're in the market for a new vehicle, looking to invest in the industry's future, or helping to shape the policies that will ultimately determine its direction. If you found this breakdown helpful in understanding the complex forces at play, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. It really helps us bring you more content like this.